Hi everyone, this is your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 19th of December. Thank you for joining me. I'm using the Heindel Tarot for today's reading. Let's have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of and what energy you'll be working with on this day. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards a couple of times. Okay, there we go. So let's have a look. Oh, the Venus von Willendorf. I love her. This is in German, so I'll translate. Okay. So, Mutter der Kelche im Norden, that is the Queen of Cups, Kelche being cups, and this is that ancient thing that they dug up. It really is called the Venus von Willendorf. It's this statue. It's an ancient fertility goddess. Then we have the Ace of Staves, so the Ace of Wands, from the East in this case. The East giving it an extra kind of energy of the sun rising, the moon rising, things coming into your life. And then we have the Fool. So very interesting. Let's have a look at what this means for you and what the energy is about and how you can use this to your advantage. That's what these tarot cards are about. So first of all, the Venus of Willendorf really represents the archetypal mother figure, and the Queen of Cups, she appeared recently as well. The Queen of Cups is a woman who has dealt with emotional difficulties. She's been a mother. She has helped other people. She's healed. She has healed herself and healed other people. So she's very caring, nurturing, and patient. She's connected to spirituality. Even though this is very kind of physical, she transcends the physical. She knows she's a spiritual being, not just a material being. And she has access to the spiritual world. So she's intuitive, she's psychic. She is someone who can connect with the unmanifest. She's also creative. And ultimately, here in this case, she's a mother. So that's what this deck represents her as this mothering side of things. Now, the mother is something that really you don't have control over. If you're a mother and if your children, do terrible things, you're never ever going to be able to just let go of them. So the mother is something, it's almost like you're chained to your children because you're going to love those children forever. I obviously haven't experienced this myself, but the bond between mother and child, I think, is one of the most sacred bonds that there is on planet Earth, and it's as close as we can get to unconditional love on this plane. So what's interesting is that I'm using this deck today, and the Queen of Cups, this ethereal creature, today is represented as the Venus von Willendorf, and it's the epitome of the body, of carnal, and the carnal side of her, because she represents femininity and it's very kind of crudely expressed. So combined with the mother, it's almost like you're a slave to your feelings in a way. So don't try and fight it. If I'm a slave to my feelings, the only thing, I can't think myself out of them, I can't act my way out of them. The only thing I can do is realize that this too will pass. Everything passes. Happiness passes, sadness passes. And the only thing that I or anyone can do is to try and find some sort of freedom, is to connect with a higher power, or to surrender the feelings to your higher power so that you can have some freedom from your feelings. The next card is the Ace of Wands, And because it's in the east, it's about new life being born. We've got this seashell here with water and an ace that is on fire. So it's almost like the water here, which she represents, and again, very feminine, the seashell. The other Venus, that famous image where Venus comes out of the water and she's born from the sea. Interesting that we've got that again. So Venus also being the planet of love and beauty and creativity, we've got this being overshadowed by the Ace of Wands, which is really on fire and which overshadows whatever's going on here, being stuck in this watery pool. I don't know what this kind of brown thing here is in the back, but it almost seems like some sort of heavy plinth, a crystal, a stone, and it's being physically stuck in the water. So the saving grace here, excuse me, is that we've got the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is Sagittarius, it's fire, its life purpose is what makes me feel alive, what makes me feel excited, what gives me a sense of strength and power and moving forward, and what really makes me look at the future with a sense of joy and optimism and happiness. Life purpose, and finding your life purpose mainly through work or what it is you do here on planet Earth. If you're retired, what you're doing creatively, what fires you up, what gives you a sense of fulfillment, usefulness, and passion. So this is at the center of the reading. If you listen to your passions today, and if you look to the future, you will be able to overcome this emotional trap that you're in, and you can free yourself by moving forward. And that's echoed here by the Fool. The Fool is the first and the last card of the major arcana. Some people put it first. I put it first. 0 comes before 1. Some people put it after the 21. And it's the conception of an idea. Before you actually take action on this idea, it has to be conceived of, right? So sometimes an idea just sneezes its way into your head and you've got the idea, but nothing's actually happened. You can decide whether to take action on it, and then that would be the next card, number 1, the Magician. You take the idea and you do something with it. Now the Fool in this deck, we've got this court jester here, a very old-fashioned court jester, not looking very happy. And court jesters in those feudal times were not treated very well. We've got this swan here trying to take off, and the Fool seems to be injuring the swan. Interesting. So jealousy of real beauty and freedom, because the jester in itself can't have freedom and has to play this role and can't be honest about who he or she is in reality. This, I think, is the old-fashioned way of representing Uranus, chaos. We've got Pluto here, death and rebirth, transformation and change. And I don't know what this Hebrew symbol is, but first of all, the 0 is completion. It's the world in a way, because it comes full circle. And this card is foolish, because if it allowed other people to, or the swan, to thrive and fly, then it would demonstrate how the jester could free herself. But because she's jealous and awful, she's obviously injuring this swan. I don't even want to look at it. Yikes. That means that she can't get over herself, and hurt people. So she's hurt, so she's going to spread the misery and make things worse for everyone else. And that's foolish, because if you are like that and you hurt other people because you're in pain, you just create more pain, and you step on other people's toes and they'll retaliate, and you just are in an endless cycle of pain and jealousy and people hurting each other all the way. So the Fool takes a very negative meaning with it, or it carries a negative meaning with it in this deck. And it really says jealousy and envy is a foolish thing to do. And that's what's going to keep her stuck, because she can't let her own emotions, she doesn't have freedom from her own emotions, and the jealousy is just so strong that she can't help herself. Interesting that we have this kind of depiction of the Fool, which I've never seen. And then we also have this, the Queen of Cups, being represented as this physical figure, not a spiritual being, as she usually is represented. And it says the Mother. And the Mother is also, I mean, being a mother, again, I don't know anything about it, obviously. But being a mother is obviously a life-changing, beautiful experience. But the negative side of things of being a mother, in this case particularly, the take they've taken on it, is you're then chained to these beings you've created, and you completely lose yourself to those little beings, and you also become aware of your own mortality. And as soon as the baby is born, you think about, okay, I'm going to have to stay alive to now take care of these children. And it also shows me where I'm at in my life. And you really take stock. It's like, okay, I'm having this child at 40. By the time the child is 20, I'm 60. So I'm going to have to take good care of my body so that I can be there for this child in its developing phases. So the gist is that emotionally you can get stuck. And the way to unstuck yourself is to look to the east, where things rise, where new ideas are born, like the Fool. But look at the ideas that don't make you feel a certain way. I'm terrified, I am jealous, this idea makes me feel awful. Look at the things that make you feel excited, happy, light, that focus on yourself, and that gives you a sense of there's a direction, there's light at the end of the tunnel, there is hope, and I'm going to move towards that, and I'm going to ignore my feelings to a certain extent and just realize that this too will pass, because there's a sense of clinging to and hanging on. And today, don't hang on, let go, and move forward. So don't ruminate. Try not to isolate yourself and analyze your feelings. They're going to put you more in your body, and that creates a greater sense of being stuck. And it also highlights all of your negative tendencies. I mean, we all have an ego. We're all jealous sometimes. We all get angry at times. We all get impatient or stubborn. It doesn't define who we are. But on this day, you may feel like, oh my God, I have all these negative feelings inside me. It's like chaos in here. And I must be a bad person, which you're not. You're an amazing person. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. And we live on planet duality, so you're going to have good feelings and bad feelings. Today, it's likely that you may get stuck with some bad feelings, so ignore those. Look at what makes you happy. Look at creating the future the way you want it, and use the fire as your fuel to get out of that fire. Make it hot enough, and the water evaporates, right? So stoke that fire within you. It's like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to create the most amazing masterpiece painting that I've ever created. And I've been painting for 20 years, but the best is yet to come. I think that should be the mantra for the day. The best is yet to come. And the way I'm going to find the best is by listening to what fires me up and what motivates me and makes me feel driven to go in a certain direction. And today, I am going to take action to make that happen. So the universe gifts you with a way out of all of this feeling by saying, look, dig your way through all the rubbish and all the negative stuff and look for the fire and the hope and the passion, and then take action, embrace this stave and move your way forward. This is a court card, so it's 1. This is an ace, so it's also 1, and the fool is 0, so 1 and 1 is 2. 2 is a relationship. It's cooperation. Cooperate with your fiery, constructive and productive energies and thoughts and ideas that really lead somewhere. And also look at the feelings that you've got, but don't hang on to them and let them go. In and out, in one ear and out the other. Remember, this too will pass. Nothing is forever. Everything comes to an end one way or another. And so will these feelings. So use this to make plans for 2019 and plan to make it your best year ever. And that's the best way to use the energy of the day, and that's the best way to have the most fabulous Wednesday that's inspiring and that's full of hope and joy and that you can do something with. So I hope you have a great day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please visit my gorgeous, beautiful new website, gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Oh, and by the way, Brexit is really helping me personally because the pound has dropped significantly. So if you're ordering a reading out of the country, like if you're in America or Canada or Germany or South Africa or Australia or New Zealand, it's not going to be as expensive because the pound is so low. And I charge my readings in pounds, so it's going to really be cheaper. In my personal readings, I use the tarot, numerology, and astrology. The astrology chart shows me a blueprint of your soul. It's a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born. It tells me what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, what your strengths and weaknesses are emotionally, and in terms of what you need to overcome and what you ought to overcome. It also shows me what's destined for you in love, romance, career, health, friendships, hopes and dreams being realized, spiritual progress, and employment versus self-employment. And I can answer any questions you may have. So if you're interested, please get in touch via the website, gregoryscott.com. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.